Valtteri, when you came and you arrived in Sochi, we all knew you were gonna get the victory. I cannot believe I even doubted you, to whom it may concern for. Hello everybody, welcome back to the internet's best reactions. Today we're talking about the Russian Grand Prix. I've just got in from Formula 1 and Formula 2 commentary. Hope you tuned in, but we're here for your reactions. But before we get into it, I don't think you're subscribed. Go do it right now, right here. Ping it, ding it, subscribe to the channel. Lots of cool content coming up. Love you. Let's get into your reactions. Right, let's begin at the very beginning. Hopefully I'll be able to remember everything, but when you actually commentate it, your brain is like 100% capacity and you don't really remember anything. But let's get into it. Involved in it. Everyone after the first lap. Or even before the first lap. Hamilton, I'm just gonna have a practice start here. I'm gonna have a practice start there. I'm gonna practice start wherever I want. Even though he's like, where is that in the rule book? Even I knew that there was a designated area, hence why all of the cars usually do that. However, it was actually a Mercedes fault I'm hearing, not Lewis Hamilton. Mercedes actually said to him that he could do a practice start at the end of the pit exit. Another slip up from Mercedes, but back to this, we were very interested. 2 5-second penalties, not just one. Hamilton now 2 penalty points away from a race ban. The championship is wide open! Who am I kidding? Not only from the Hamilton penalty, but also because it was a little bit messy, wasn't it, lap 1? At Hannes Schwab, burnt Mylander right now. Here we go again. We love a safety car around Sochi. Turn 2 is just a little bit chaotic. Even though the walls aren't that close at the actual apex, obviously you've got that really kind of odd re-entry that you have with the bollards, which they've added another one to the left to make sure they don't go too fast through there. Carlos Sainz was like, nah mate, I'm coming in at a tight angle, but I'm still gonna try and take it at 190,000 miles an hour. And there is another tweet right about here, @_kidsgloves_ Carlos Sainz trying to avoid the wall. He did not. Bit embarrassing, it has to be said, but Carlos didn't seem too upset in the interviews afterwards. He was just like, yeah, my mistake. We move on, we move. He's fine, he's going to Ferrari. He doesn't really care. He'd be crying into all of his banknotes. That's not really aggressive, that wasn't jealousy, Carlos. You're gonna do great at Ferrari, but not too great. Not that much passion. At Little Bit Manic, this is almost tweet of the week. I will be upfront with you, this was runner-up, but I'm sorry it wasn't tweet of the week because it's bangers, bangers everywhere. Verstappen going through escape road at turn 2. Sainz going through the escape. Oh my God, that is so good. I love it. Oh God, I wish there were more prizes available, but there aren't just yet. I'll have a chat with Fanatec and let you know for future episodes. At Painted Luck, carnage. There was carnage, and also a lot of overtakes as well. Mr. Esteban Ocon just strolling into the season like, hello there. Great start, got past Ricciardo, got past Verstappen at one point. It was just chilling. Verstappen had a good start, then a bad start. Can you tell there was a lot of stuff going on in lap 1? Ricciardo eventually managed to recover, we'll get onto that. But Esteban Ocon, great little start. Charles Leclerc, I mean, there's so many things going on. Charles Leclerc and that heap of Ferrari. I digress, we move on. Back to Lewis Hamilton's penalty for a second. Will 2370981. FIA investigating Lewis Hamilton's practice start be like? Got to talk about this quickly, not the fact that they gave a penalty, but it took quite a while for it to actually be announced. I think it was 40 minutes from the time that it was said they're under investigation, it still hadn't been decided. And I was thinking, it surely is a clear cut, he's done it or he hasn't done it, and then an amount penalty that he would be getting. But maybe it was the fact that he was getting 2 penalties? Who knows? Especially for someone like Valtteri Bottas, who is sat behind Hamilton, obviously on the preferable tyre strategy on the mediums, but he doesn't know if Lewis has a penalty or not, if he's going to get a penalty, even though he broke the rules before the race even started. He can change the strategy completely. Either way, Valtteri won. Spoilers. Don't know why you'd be watching this though if you didn't want to know the results. Now this was great. Fighting for 16th, 17th and 18th position. I was so invested, and I don't know why, because it meant absolutely nothing. Actually, no, it did, because I haven't got a point in the end. At Scott L529, Lando, George and Alex racing against each other. I don't know why that GIF is so apt, because it is. It's like, oh my God, the Twitch generation. They're all, ding dong, virtual GP, You just kind of want them all to have an amazingly clean, I mean, you want it to be clean everywhere. You don't want to wish crashes on people, but for those three and especially, you just kind of want to wrap them up in cotton wool and stars of the future. At Matt Dabry, Lando, George and Alex scrapping it out for P16. Lockdown was great, wasn't it? It feels like, well, I say it feels like a long time ago. We're kind of back in lockdown, kind of, in the UK. Hope everyone's staying safe, just as a side note to that, and you're all well and your families are good, because still crazy times out there. But that is it is a throwback to when it was full lockdown, virtual GPs were in action. I know it was a battle at the back of the field, but everybody enjoyed it, and it was a great fight. At Love Life F1, Norris and Albon accompanying, why can I not say accompanying Russell for today's race? Friendship! That's brilliant. That is really brilliant. And this one made me laugh. And this is probably almost tweet of the week. There were some very good tweets, but this is almost. At Foxy Hound, Leclerc hearing about his mates racing together. I told you not to do fun stuff without me. Although he was much higher up, and I'm sure he would have been fine finishing P6. I was thinking this on the drive back from F1, where I was just kind of going, are Mercedes that upset that Verstappen finished second? It's neither here nor there, really. The Constructors is wrapped up. The Drivers' Championship is wrapped up. Are they that upset in the debriefs? I guess it's perfection, isn't it? They always after perfection, otherwise eventually they might slip.
Who has won Tweet of the Week?
Here we are, the most anticipated point of the show. Fanatec Tweet of the Week. Of course, thank you to Fanatec once again for sponsoring this episode. Love you long time. And here we are. Who has won Tweet of the Week? It is at Formula Uno, and it is a banger. Since we have introduced the Fanatec Tweet of the Week, everybody is putting so much more effort into their memes, and it's brilliant. We get content. This person wins an amazing prize. It's a win-win. Keep it up, because I'm seeing the quality go through the roof. And, well, Marl, that's your name. We will be in contact. This was a little bit sad, not because anything really emotional happened, but just the fact that Lewis Hamilton went in for his pit stop, got held for 10 seconds, came out, and Sebastian Vettel's just racing as hard as he possibly can, hasn't pitted yet. That Ferrari, so slow, especially, unfortunately, in the hands of Seb at the moment. At Toma, Lewis to Seb. Just wasn't any point in defending, was it? 1 year ago, if we'd have been given like a little preview of today's race 1 year ago, would anybody have believed it? This is good at Mr. Mazzy Cars. This is probably almost tweet of the week. Anyway, Lewis after the race heading straight to the stewards. I don't know about the koala, but the scooter is fantastic. And that's exactly how I can see it in my brain now, Lewis on that scooter. It's amazing. Good stuff. Now, for probably overtake of the race, at Helena Hates You comes in with Ricciardo versus Perez. That was sensational. Round turn 4, I think it is, because 1's the kink, 2, 3. Yeah, turn 4, the really long left-hander. Danny Rick got on the marbles a little bit. Sergio Perez was like, thank you for the grippy line. Done. Sorted. We saw a very, very big impact in F2, which was a little bit scary. And that corner, that something needs to change. It's far too high speed with the potential of stopping very quickly in the wall. Either way, great move from Perez. And a great race from Perez, P4. No upgrades. He's just like, you know what? Don't give me an upgrade, Racing Point. I don't need it. Lance Stroll got crashed into, so not really his fault. But Perez, great race. Now, it was very embarrassing for Renault. What on earth were they doing with the team orders? I mean, clearly, Esteban Ocon got out the way very obviously on the inside into turn 2, lost quite a bit of time. Danny Rick wasn't even that close. It felt like anyway when you watch the onboard from Danny Rick. But then Ricciardo locks up, gets a penalty because he went over the curb. And not only that, Ocon then got jumped by Leclerc because he'd slowed down and let Ricciardo through. It was an absolute mess. Either way, at Purple Sector 50, Daniel Ricciardo, when he hears he's got a 5-second penalty. And I love this from the Australian. Beautiful stuff. He wasn't like, oh, why did I get that? Oh my God, it's so unfair. Oh, I wish that. Oh, why can't I? Let me speak to the steward. Oh my God. It was none of that. It was just, I'm going to go as fast as I goddamn please. Danny Rick went on a charge and made up for it. Didn't lose any positions. Couldn't have beaten Perez. P5. I love that attitude. I will drive to the best of my ability. At Westoliver_, Lewis getting a penalty versus Danny Rick. Okay, I'll drive faster. Didn't see that in the rule book. I don't even know what was almost tweeted. There were so many amazing tweets. It's all down to you. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? Either way, separate point. Love that. Love the memes, guys. This Internet's Best Reactions is going to go through the roof if you continue with this content. I love you all. Now, we've mentioned the cutting at turn 2 and having to go around the bollards and things like that. At Pleb Grand Prix, Grosjean at turn 2, be like. Bangers everywhere. I love it. Grosjean, I love how he went. It was a little bit weird that you have to do it even in Grosjean's situation, which was kind of similar to Sainz in some ways, in the fact that he had a tight angle. Grosjean was just like, well, I have to go somewhere near these bollards. I'll just go through them. You know, the stewards will see that I've at least tried. Now, of course, Hamilton was a little bit nowhere after his penalties and then came out, eventually filtered into 3rd place, and he wasn't happy with the fact that he had to manage his hard tyres for quite a long time. And I think we got a team radio where he was pretty grumpy. At Christopher Penn, Bono after Hamilton told him to leave him alone and stop giving him updates. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, what do you do if you're the person that's supposed to speak to Hamilton? But it was just a bit mystifying. I genuinely thought he would have caught Verstappen at the very least. But that Red Bull's race pace wasn't that bad. When you look at Friday and Saturday, we thought Mercedes is going to trounce this. It's just Max things, isn't it? Max is just a beast. At Formula Brina, Sochi summed up. There were a lot of them. It's still weird that turn 2 was just a 5-second penalty if you go over that curb. I don't think we've ever seen that before. And I can't think of a place where it's just an instant 5-second penalty if you don't go round the bollards. Get me in that FIA discussion. I'll sort it all out. I've got F1 game knowledge. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, there's no reactions to this bit, but I thought I'd just mention it, where it was Norris on 473,000 lap-old hard tyres. You then had Albon, who was kind of on a decent-ish strategy, I think, on the mediums. And then you've got Gasly, who had just pit under the VSC, which was the shortest VSC we've ever seen after Grosjean hit the barriers. But what a battle that was. That was actually awesome. Lando did a fantastic job to hold them back as long as he could. Albon then somehow got swallowed by Gasly rather than overtaking Norris, and then obviously Lando then locked up and had a 50p as a front left or whatever it was. But I just thought I'd mention it. No memes. Insert just a blank meme here. What a great meme. Right, let's talk about it. We all know what we're going to talk about. Valtteri Bottas on the team radio after the race. At Animatrix_YT, Bottas team radio after the race. He said it. Of course, that was all about, to whom it may concern, F you. Now, I tweeted saying, I love, Valtteri Bottas. Sorry about that. But I actually found it quite funny. I just found, he's trying to be a bit, edgy and but I'm back. When in reality, he got quite lucky with Hamilton's penalty, put him in a position, but nothing. I'm not going to take away from his race pace, because his race pace was fantastic. And you look at the fact Hamilton was in clear air for a huge amount of time at the second part of the race. Granted, a little bit more worn tyres, but still on hards. And Valtteri's pace was sensational. So it's not quite deserving of that phrase, I don't think. It's not like he's dominated the whole weekend like some of us thought he might. So I think you need to chill out a little bit. And also, Valtteri Bottas' post-race interview where he said that there was a bee that he hit and it obscured his vision going into turn 2, and that's why he ran wide trying to overtake Hamilton. I mean, what are these reasons? I love it. At Mr. Jackie V, I fear no man. But that thing, what is it this year with the Hornets, bees, you got Bottas and Lando? Who else is scared of these flying insects? I do not know. At Formula 1 Twit, Valtteri Bottas be like. There's so many, by the way. At Legend of Zelda, but with ER. Interesting. Bottas to all his critics. Now this one's interesting. I want to hear your points on this one. At Denethy, Bottas 44 points behind his teammate in the championship after getting out qualified by Verstappen and a half second down on his teammate, winning because of Lewis Hamilton's penalty. To my critics, F you. Okay then. That sounds a slightly bit Hamilton biased, with the fact that that's mainly qualifying that he's talking about, and Valtteri did very well in the race. At Grant the Asian, Bottas to all his critics after winning. Oh, Valtteri, I don't know why I threw my phone because I now need to do the next segment, but you made me do it. It didn't deserve it. Some people were cringing. I found it quite funny, but I also don't think he's going to challenge for the championship unless Hamilton gets a race ban or something else crazy happens. What do you think? Here we go. My favourite post from Instagram is _FF1S_. Hamilton getting a penalty. We've got a penalty. Where's Under Armour? Ricardo getting a penalty. We've got a penalty. All right, I'll drive faster. Good meme. Love that. Brilliant. Social media team championship time now. Here we go. Who has scored points for the Russian Grand Prix? In third position, we have the reigning champions, of course. When do they ever not score points? Because they have great social media managers. BWT Racing Point Formula 1 team. No investigation necessary for Perez at turn 2 at least. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. In second position, we have Mercedes AMG F1. Hey Netflix, be gentle with us this weekend. They were a little bit rough. A little bit, but not too bad. It's not Germany 2019. Well done. And in first position, I think for the first time ever, is Haas F1 team. Do not smash my nesting dolls. I mean, Günther doesn't actually look that angry in that picture, but I'd like to think that that's like a really horrible thought he has whilst looking like that. Günther, you never know what he's going to say next. So well done, Haas F1 team. Lovely stuff. That's 1 point for BWT Racing Point Formula 1 team, 2 points for Mercedes AMG F1 team, and 3 points for Haas F1 team. Congratulations.
And now it's time for Race Rundown with your host, Matthew Gallagher.
Race rundown time. Don't have any time for mistakes because, well, quite frankly, I'm rather tired. Here we go. The race finishers of the Russian Grand Prix were Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton. Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Ocon, Kvyat, Gasly, Albon, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Vettel. I think it's my old age. I might have to sack this off. I might literally have to just burn this entire segment if I don't start talking. Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton. Bottas, Verstappen. That's really difficult. It's never in this order. It isn't. Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Ocon, Kvyat, Gasly, Albon, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Vettel, Raikkonen, Norris, Latifi, Grosjean, Russell. Yes! I didn't think I was getting out of there. I did not think I was getting out of there alive. And the non-finishers were Sainz Stroll. Good enough? Good. Cool. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching the internet's best reactions to the Russian Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to get involved next time and potentially win an amazing Fanatec prize, use the hashtag WTF1 on social media and we'll pick the very best ones to either be almost tweet of the week, almost tweet of the week, or actually tweet of the week and you win an amazing prize. That is it. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the Nürburgring, the Snow Grand Prix. We will be sat there for a very long time, I think. I don't think that's going to be a quick 90-minute and we're off and done. Internet's best reactions could be released next year for 2 weeks' time. We don't know. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Love you all very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, Valtteri, when you came and you arrived in Sochi, we all knew you were gonna get the victory. Forgot the lyrics.